All right. A very good evening to everyone. Thank you once again for coming for this year's SMS UK Annual Dinner. I'm very happy that all of you are present here tonight with all 110 of us, especially after the very long tiring day at Singapore Day. I promise you tonight there's no queues for food, so don't worry. Right. It's funny how when we started planning for the annual dinner, we only initially planned for 90 people. But these 90 slots were taken up within 30 hours of the opening of registration, forcing us to just expand the capacity to 110. And I think not just the general interest in our society and our events, not just annual dinner, is really a testament to how much the society has grown over the last year. Right. I'm not going to lie to you and promise it's going to be a short speech because I'm going to be standing here for quite a long time. But I guess all of you are here to hear me anyway, so here we go, right? So for tonight, I'll be just talking about four things, but four very long things. First off, I'll just tell you about what SMS UK is. I'll also talk to you about the people who have been serving you over the past year. And then I'll just carry on and share with you about the summary of changes that SMS UK has gone through over the last year. And I'll just end off with the financial report. So what is SMS UK? This is a very long definition taken from our website. Don't worry about it. I'm going to share with you what I think SMS UK is here for. So to me, SMS UK is here for two simple reasons: to bond and to guide. When you see to bond, it means social aspects. So SMS UK facilitates bonding and networking opportunities between our members as well as our members and our sponsors through our array of events. And in terms of information, SMS UK not only do we inform our members about the changing Singapore healthcare system, but through our social media platforms and medical news mailer, but we also facilitate senior to junior advice and also giving advice to the pre-university students. So I'd just like to use this chance to talk about the 12 people who've been serving you over the last year. Could all of you just please stand up, please? So, as you know, not all my committee members are here. Some of them are still working outside. But I'll just talk a little bit about them behind their backs. So first off, I would like to thank Sing Kai, my VP Social Media. With her vast experience, she led the social media subcommittee and obviously supported me throughout my entire presidency. Thank you very much. VP Events Clifford. Well, he's the mastermind behind all the planning of the events, and he done up all the event-specific SOP. My secretary, Inshu, there, who diligently updates the contact list, who's ever growing, and also does the circulation mailer that we send out every fortnight or every month. Eric, our treasurer. I think most of you will remember him based on the subsidies or the reimbursements of the SMS UK subsidies he gives you. Rachel, our PR and sponsorship director, as well as the chief organizer for tonight's event. I think most of you remember her for her antics in orientation camp. But trust me, she's a very demure lady and she works very closely with our sponsors behind the scenes. Stuart, our dental officer, constantly fighting for the dental community, and this year spearheaded the dental dinner. Dulcina, our Wider UK director, done a very amazing job just getting the Wider UK members more involved. And I think the fact that this year's weekend trip had 32 Wider UK members out of the 56 attendees is just a testament to how much hard work she has put in. Natasha, our creative director, the person who is behind all the creative artwork, the banners, the posters, and the videos. Samantha, our publicity director, the person who writes up all the event write-ups, does the medical news mailer, as well as made the annual magazine that all of you have seen tonight. Edmund, our IT director, done a very amazing job revamping the website, digging up all the history of SMS UK and presenting it on the website. And he's very involved in almost every aspect of SMS UK as well. Sean, our liaison officer, often the unforgotten hero. Dealing with the JC students, the graduating batch and alumni, it's very tough. But he has put in a lot of hard work. And I think, for example, this year's annual dinner, we have the graduate segment, and it's all due to him. So these 11 people has willingly sacrificed a lot of time, effort, and sleep to serve our members. And really, the credit of everything crazy and wonderful that SMS UK has seen over the past year must be given to them. Personally, I've learned a lot from each and every one of them. I'd like to thank them for giving me the opportunity to serve alongside them. Thank you very much. Next, I'd just like to quickly run through the aims of the 19th committee that we set from the get-go. So the first thing we wanted to do was to establish a continued and deeper relationship with our JCs as well as our distinguished sponsors. Secondly, I believe that tying up internal SOPs would help SMS UK grow in the long term. Third, I wanted to instill a stronger sense of identity, a stronger sense of ownership, and belonging to the society and all our members, as well as building up that SMS UK identity that we wanted. And lastly, I would like to capitalize on the information that our sponsors can provide to just help our members be a bit closer to the Singapore healthcare system. So I really want you guys to be the judge of whether the 19th Com has succeeded in our aims or not. So moving on to the next segment, I'll just quickly summarize the changes we have made over the past year. I've broken it down into 4 themes, of which I'll only be elaborating the first 2 themes due to time constraint. So the first theme will be enhancing our identity. Second, expanding the variety and improving the quality of the events. Third was to extend our outreach to members. Fourth was to establish a foundation for long-term growth for SMS UK. So moving to the theme of enhancing our identity, the first thing that the 19th committee did was to change our logo. And the idea behind this was to emphasize the inclusion of the dental students. And this was done by including the crown of the tooth on the logo. The next thing we did was to also make the bell of the stethoscope a lot more obvious. Next thing, in terms of social media, the first thing we did was to also revamp our website. And the intention was to make our website a lot easier to navigate through and aesthetically pleasing as well. We also bought over the domain, which I'll be elaborating later on. We also set up an online shop. Sorry. We also set up an online shop, and the intention for this was, it's a non-profit online shop, and we wanted just our members to have a piece of SMS UK wherever they go, and hopefully turn out our events with this, the sweatshirts and the orientation shirts on. So these are just a few of the products that we have. The next thing is addition of new social media. So as all of you know, we have our main Facebook groups that all of you are in. In addition to that, this year we started the JC Facebook group. And that was to just basically break down the communication barrier with the JC students. We also started the alumni group, which hopefully is just to make sure we keep hold of this batch of important people even after they graduate. We also started the YouTube account. And this is basically to showcase event-related videos as well as event promotion videos. We also started a new Twitter account for 2 intentions. The first one was to hold our Twitter photo competition, which was held for a day trip and weekend trip. Next thing was to tie it in with our medical news mailer. So basically what happens is every week, we will post 5 to 6 articles about research advancement, medical advancement, changes in the Singapore healthcare scene onto Twitter. And at the end of each month, we'll gather the best 6 or 7, write a short write-up on it, and send it off as the medical news mailer. And this is just one of the ways we try to provide more information to our members. And talking about mailers, obviously none of you have get that this year we named our SMS UK mailer as the circulation. So moving on to the next theme, which is summary of events. This is just a list of our Singapore events, and the biggest problem about summer events is the fact that summer is always too short. I think all of us will agree with that. And we cannot really add many more events, and hence we strive to improve the quality of events. One thing I really want to point out is the JC Talks, where this year, not only did we go to more schools, 7 in total, but we also added the mock interview scheme, which was very well received by the students and the schools. Next, the UK events. So this year we have 3 new UK events, and these are highlighted in red. And we also added the musical segment to our picnic, hence calling it Pixicle. So in terms of new events, the first new event we had was a charity blood drive, which was held in collaboration with our sister society, the Singapore Healthcare Society, which represented allied health students. Next, we also had the dental dinner, which was supposed to be an informative sharing session with Dr. Vivian Wong. And surprisingly, a few medical students also turned up. Next, we have obviously our inaugural medical museum tour, which was very well received by our members. I mean, apart from the additional events, the next thing I want you to take away from this slide is the numbers beside it. And these numbers are the number of attendees per event. So this year we have seen an increase in attendance in all our events, and especially those highlighted in black, our three main UK events, the day trip, weekend trip, and annual dinner. And like I said, I think this just shows where SMS UK is heading to in the next few years, with increased participation from all our members. So a lot of changes we made this year were for the long term, and the effects of this will only be seen in the next few years. But obviously, all of you will be thinking that might be not real. So what I've did was I tried to come up with short-term quantitative data to show you guys, and we calculated the number of unique members that attended our events this year throughout our entire term. And this amounted to 261, which I think is a very big number, and it's a very big achievement. So moving on to the last segment, which is the financial report. So as all of you know, we have 7 main annual sponsors this year. And we're very happy to have NUHS, National University Health System, as our platinum sponsor, sponsoring us £2,600. In addition to that, we also have 6 gold sponsors, each sponsoring us £2,000. And these are Alexandra Health System, Contact Singapore, Jurong Health Services, MOHH, NHG, as well as Sing Health Services. So if you do the math, this amounted to a total of £14,600. Now, on top of the annual sponsors that we receive, we also receive event-based sponsorship. And this was basically funds that we apply for separately to increase the capacity of or the quality of our events. And we only do this for our 3 main events: orientation camp, weekend trip, and obviously tonight's event. And as you can see, MOHH has agreed to sponsor us the accommodation for orientation camp, as well as the £15 Amazon goodie bag, Amazon vouchers that you find in your goodie bag tonight. OSU has also been there for all 3 of the events at sponsoring us varying amounts. And Singapore Pools have kindly sponsored us our estimate here. We talk about the expenditure. This is going to be a bit dry, so I'm going to do my best to make it as simple and clear as possible. I've broken down the expenditure into 3 main groups, right? Singapore events, projects, as well as UK events. And all you need to take away from this slide is the fact that we have exceeded our budget by £91.42p, which for reasons I'll explain later on. So this is just a very nice pie chart showing you the breakdown of our expenditure according to 3 main categories. And obviously, and understandably so, the UK events take up the biggest chunk of the pie. So our first category, the Singapore events. Bulk of our expenditure is on orientation camp, with minimal printing costs on our pre-departure fare as well as our pre-university talks. Our sponsor collaborated SMS UK events are events such as Freshers and Members with Contact Singapore, Sing Health Student Engagement Dinner, and Jurong Health Networking Dinner. And these was obviously very heavily subsidized by our sponsors. Projects are basically non-event related costs, and on the right you can see all the list of projects. But I just want to highlight one of them for you, which is, which is basically the domain purchase. So this year we spent £350 buying a new domain, which is smsuk.com. The idea behind this, so Emma was presented with this opportunity, and we really thought about it really hard, and we decided to go ahead with it. And the rationale behind this was to save money for SMS UK in the long term. Long story short, the biannual subscription fee we're paying for our current domain, www.sms-uk.net, is very high. And buying a new domain and signing a new plan would be a lot cheaper. So if I'm not wrong, Emma did all the math, and we'll be getting back the £350 within 9 years, which is a long time, but let's just take it as a long-term investment. Obviously, the 19Com is very tired, and we have come to the end of term, so we'll be leaving the porting of the website to the next committee. So last but not least, our UK events. So the biggest problem with this pie chart is that it doesn't take into account the number of attendees that attend each event, and that's why annual dinner takes such a large chunk of the pie. So I prepared this per person subsidy graph for you guys, which just shows how much we spend on each member at each event. And this was also the strategy we used at the beginning of the year when planning our budget allocation. I think the other thing to take away, which is very serious, is just so that our members know how much money we spend on you guys for each event and how much money is wasted whenever you guys pull out of the event or do not turn up for the event. And yep. So in summary of finances, we started the year with 3939.48 and we're handing over 3848.06 to the next committee. Right. So I'm coming to the end of the speech now. I know it's really long. You guys are probably bored of me. But just before I sit down, I just want to bring us back to the theme of this year's annual magazine, Delta. So this year has really been a year of change for the society. And I really have to thank three groups of people as shown in the three corners of this triangle. Firstly, the 11 amazing individuals that I've worked with this year, the committee. Secondly, our sponsors for all their support, not just in financial means, but also advice given to us. And thirdly, obviously, you guys are members. And I want to just special shout out to the people who help out in the JC Talks as well as the orientation camp this year. So the support that 19th Com has received over the last year has been tremendous, and I really hope that you'll lend the same support to the next committee. I've made many new friends over the past 2 years in serving in SMS UK committee, and they are both medical and dental students, London and wider UK students. And I just want to tell each and every one of you that I hold your friendship very dearly to myself. There are many times I think that all of us will face amidst our busy student life. We'll feel very demoralized with work, or we'll feel very worried about our future. But let me just share with you how I deal with it. I go for SMS UK events. So it's not just, I feel refreshed each time I go for SMS UK events. And it's not just because it's a mini holiday, but also because I talk to people and I realize that these people share the same problems and hesitations that I face. The array of conversations range from working in Singapore, the PEG residency program, even attachments over summer, or which are the best hospitals in Singapore. So all these are very relevant and common problems that all of us face as medical and dental students. I just hope that you guys share the same passion and belief in this society as I do. And I urge you guys to start taking ownership of your society and start taking baby steps to being more involved in this society. I want to just thank everyone again who I've crossed paths with over the last 2 years. It has been my utmost pleasure to serve you guys as the treasurer of the 18th committee, as well as the president of the 19th committee. Thank you very much.